You about ready?
Mm-hmm. All right, I want to finish up because I brought this up a while back. I did a quick video on it, and I want to explain my stance on Donald Trump. And it came up in the debate, and then we got some other stuff we're going to break down in the debate in this last segment. But it came up in the debate about how Donald Trump bragged about tariffs that he puts in, and how the tariffs are actually going to hurt American people even worse than we're already being affected. But go ahead, what were you saying?
No, keep going.
But here's the wolf in the sheep clothing, if you will, of the Democratic Party. They want you to believe that they're a party for the people, the party for working class, the party for Americans, but they're not. They're a party for socialism. They're a party to one world order. And you can't bring your buddy to the table if you don't get your buddy invited in the house. Your buddy can't sit down at the table and help run things if he ain't in the front door.
Yeah.
How do you get your buddy in the front door? You give them all of our manufacturing. You give them all of the stuff we need to live, right? China, Asia, Philippines, which I know is part of Asia, I think. Or did they change to Oceanic Pacificians? I want to be politically correct. I think Philippines are now Oceanic Pacificians.
Keep going.
You got Brazil. You got South America. You got, my brain just died. And now you got Mexico and Canada. You got everybody else that we are, because of government oversight, government regulation, government enforcement, government inducement, all right? I use that word on purpose, government inducement. American private companies and even American public trading companies are shifting overseas, shifting south of the border, shifting north of the border to do their production. And I agree with Trump 100%. If you, like for instance, John Deere, just in Iowa, they laid off 1,600 Americans.
That's so many.
All right, just in Iowa. They got plants and facilities all over the country, okay? So I think they've laid off like almost 5,000 people all throughout America right now. They focus on Iowa, but if you look at all the numbers, it's closer to 5,000 people that have lost their jobs. Not just 5,000 people, they've shut down facilities. So facilities take supplies to run. So the people who bring stuff to the facility, the security guard, the fence company. I mean, let's think about it. The parking lot paving company, the insurance company, the roofing company, the people who build the building company, all the different companies that go into having these facilities, they're not working either. They're not doing maintenance for John Deere, right? Techs aren't coming out. Computer guys aren't coming out. Maintenance guys aren't coming out.
Just 1,600.
So it's not just the people in John Deere that lost their jobs. And then these 5,000 people, now they can't take their kid to the movie. So now they're riding around on Maypops because they don't have the money to get their tires fixed as soon as they should. We call them Maypops.
I don't know what that is.
So when you got tires that are kind of rough and ragged, the wires are showing in them.
Oh.
And you should have changed them 1,000 miles ago, but you ain't got the money because tires are $180 a piece now. We call it you're riding around on Maypops. They may pop at any time.
Oh, don't do that.
Think about the dangers of our roads with the people who are like, I can barely put gas in my car and pay my insurance. I know I need a front end alignment and new tires, but I can't afford it.
It's the only thing I appreciate about Pennsylvania having the car inspections every year.
Right?
Your car's going to run. And if not, they're going to call you out the very next year.
Yeah, Florida used to do that. I'm so glad we don't no more. All the time we used to waste.
I'm glad that we don't, but like there's a real reason for it. And there's a good time for it. You know?
But there's also a limit on how much you reach into people's business. If the car's legitimate and got a tag, got insurance, let the man ride. Just trying to make a living.
Okay, Maypop.
I don't ride on Maypops.
I don't.
Not anymore. But it's funny how well do they keep the roads up there?
Oh, potholes everywhere, but that's because the salt, like, just...
Wait, whoa. They want you to have a properly well-maintained vehicle, but they don't maintain the roads for you to drive them on. Wow, it almost sounds like a racket. Like they cause your car to break, so you have to get
because
it fixed.
Of all the salt.
So you have to get it fixed, so you have to get it inspected.
Yeah.
So they can break it again on their terrible roads. Wow.
I mean, it's a cycle.
Well done.
It's a cycle.
Well done. What a money catch. So I agree 100%. And I think 200 is a good number. I say go 500. John, so look, if a company starts in Mexico or starts in China and they're like, hey, we can sell stuff to the American people, they're going to buy it. Good for them. And if they can compete, good for them. It's called free trade, right? But if you're an American company and you've always been a trademarked American company, and then because of the Biden and administration and the unions and everything else, you say to yourself, we can't pay the bills no more and still sell tractors. We can't pay the bills no more and still sell roofing material. We got to figure this out. We can either go complete automation or we can move to Mexico where labor is 3/4 the price, right?
Yeah.
Like they can save 75% on labor costs just by moving to Mexico. And then in Mexico, the building requirements, the EPA requirements, all the regulation is non-existent. So they save all that money. Now, they don't ship tractors over here at 30% less. So they move across the border and they save 30 to 40% of their cost. So you would think the right thing to do would be like, hey, we used to sell tractors for $100,000, but now we're saving so much money by building them in Mexico, we're going to sell them for $65,000.
But are they having to do that because prices here have gone up because of the inflation?
They're doing it, yes. So not just that, but it's just like these unions that are trying to bust up companies in the name of the people. But when you regulate for a floor sweeper to make $30 an hour sweeping up floors, that's unrealistic. I'm sorry if you're a floor sweeper. You don't deserve $30 an hour. Go get an education, learn how to weld, learn how to mechanic if you want that kind of money or if you want $40, $50 an hour. But the unions and their unrealistic mandates are causing companies to figure things out. They either go automation or they leave the country. And I understand this is the game we're playing. And Trump's saying, okay, if you can't afford to raise prices and stay in business and pay your employees and do all this stuff, and you choose to bail country, well, guess what? You're not going to sell stuff back to us, or you're going to pay for it. So Trump's basically saying, you're either going to pay tariffs or you're going to pay American workers. And to me, I think that's the stance we have to have. Because if a company like John Deere says, well, crap, if I lay off all these people and move my stuff to Mexico, and then 200%, oh, wow, I might as well stay in America. Great, stay in America. I think it's a mafia move, and I'm proud of it. I really like it.
They should be given an incentive to come back to America? Or would that push more people out and then bring them back?
They already get incentives.
Okay.
Do you know how much tax breaks these big companies?
Nope, because I don't own a company.
Even under, now we don't employ enough people, but even under Biden, these big companies that bring in 500, 800, 900 people and they build facilities, or even if they bring in 150 jobs to a town, they get crazy tax incentives to bring employment and bring people to communities. All right? It's just the way the business works. All right. Anyways, I want everybody to understand why Trump's doing it. He's saying if you're going to sell us out, you got to pay. Pay to play. That's my dog. That's my dude. And then I wanted to talk real quick. Heather and I pulled up some numbers. We did a quick video on this. During the debate, they were going back and forth, and the Dems want to focus on school shootings, mass shootings, gun violence. I can't say what I said on X on here, can I?
Probably not.
Silly
Don't.
rabbit.
Yeah,
right.
no, don't.
I'll leave that. But Tim Walz actually said, now, he did say he's friends with school shooters. They sit in his office. They stare at the kids on his wall.
Well, he didn't go that in depth. It was part of one sentence that he may have misspoke.
He said, I know school shooters.
He's like, I'm friends with yeah, he says, I'm friends with school shooters.
They've been in my
friends
office.
With.
They've been in my office.
Is that the actual quote?
Yes. Yeah, they sat in my
Why
office.
have they sat? What was he doing that they sat in his office?
If you really want
he
me
was a coach.
Okay, if you want me to be honest, I think he was trying to say the victims of school shooters sat in his office and he became friends with them.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I believe that's what he was trying to say. But did you see that white spit on his bottom lip?
No.
Every time Vance would rile him up or call him out, especially on that abortion law that he signed into office, and Vance is like, you signed the law. The law says this. And he's like, no, it doesn't. It's been fact-checked. It's been fact-checked with Trump. When he was, because, you know, in Minnesota, if a baby survives an abortion, the doctor's allowed to let it die of natural causes, and the doctor don't go to jail. Vance was grilling him on that, and you could tell he was lying. He was getting that white little spitball on the bottom of his lip, and he was turning all red, looking all stupid, and he was like, that's been fact-checked. That's been fact-checked by Trump. That's been fact-checked by Trump. Trump already got fact-checked on it. And Vance is like, no, it's in the law. Like, he's like, you misread it. It's been misinterpreted. I didn't sign a law saying that.
And then he quoted where you could find it within the law.
Right. Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
So I mean, good for Vance. But they focus on here's two things I picked up. This is what I want to cover before I run out of time.
Okay.
Vance wanted to talk about the bigger issues and say, yes, it's tragic. And man, what a gentleman. He apologized. He's like, I'm sorry. When he said, the guy, when Walt said, my son witnessed the shooting right in front of him.
Yeah.
And Vance was like, I didn't know that. I'm very sorry. I mean, Vance is like,
He's a dad.
Yeah, I was so impressed with that interview. And I have to say, and people may hate me for this, I have a new respect for Tim Walz. I'm not voting for him. I don't like him. But no.
He seemed like a really likable, nice guy.
I wouldn't say likable and nice, but he is a pheasant hunter. But the way they interacted with each other, it was gentleman-like civilness, and it's what our country needs. We need two dudes who completely disagree. They have complete different stances on everything, but be able to openly say, oh, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with some of that. I don't agree with all of it. Let's talk it out. Let's have a conversation. I was blown away. I actually said on social media, is it too late to switch Trump and Harris for Vance and Walz?
It's so funny that you say that because me and my sister were texting at the same time, and I think we said almost the exact same thing. Like, these guys would probably work out really well together.
Well, you're talking about on the same ticket?
Yes.
Oh, wow, I didn't go that far, but okay. No, checks and balances, right?
And you would have both sides pretty happy. I mean, because, your checks and balances, it would be level, but, yeah.
But some of the stuff I crazy disagree with Waltz. Some of it I was like, wow, that kind of makes sense. But Vance wanted to focus on the mental health that drives gun violence. And Waltz immediately said, whoa. We don't want to paint everybody with mental health issues as a violent criminal.
Because we all have mental health issues.
Right.
But continue.
But so they kept talking about how many people die in school shootings. We lead the world in school shootings. More people die, and he kept comparing us to Finland. Well, actually, we looked it up. America ranks 32nd in mass shootings by gun violence. Now, we shouldn't even be on the list, okay? Nobody should die in a mass school shooting. All right, so please don't misunderstand me. But they say that we lead the world in gun violence, and all these other countries that you know, we're America, we should lead the country, but we don't lead the world. We're 32nd. Now, they also kept talking about the outrageous number. How many people? And again, don't misquote me. One is too many. But in 2021, 48,830 people died from gun violence. All right? You ready for this number? No. In 2021, we killed 625,978 babies. They don't talk about that. 48,000 versus 625,978. Heather looked up Pew Research and Guttmacher, two independent researchers. So the 625 numbers from the CDC, but two independent researchers say the actual number of abortions is actually 930,000. And they want to talk about guns? Walt said, sometimes we just got to blame the gun. No, silly boy. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Between the ribs, I'm out of here.
God, we need you now.